In this video, we're going to show you how to model foundations in Revit. Now, when we say foundation, we know it's a piece of element that will stay on the ground and support the building. Or another way that we said that transferring the load from the building to the ground. We have different type of foundations, starting from a single foundation, wall foundation, combined footing, mat foundation, pile foundation, and have different other shapes, trapezoidal, others. So in Revit, we have a different grouping. Within the structural tab, we have a grouping for foundation. However, there is isolated, there is wall, there is slab. Now, what does this slab means? Sometimes you don't have foundation, there's a slab foundation, we call it. There is just a slab, like a pavement, a concrete road. It's kind of similar, like a foundation. Sometimes within the building, you have a foundation that would have an edge slab. Some designs are like this. You'll see that it's just like this. The edge of it has a extra piece element, and it will be the foundation for the home. It's used in some country. So we have different type of foundation. However, we don't see mat foundation, we don't see pile, we don't see combined. So we're going to show you something, a part of Revit, which is very important when you have something that you cannot find it within the families. We'll check the families as well. If you cannot find it from within the families, you don't need to go through internet and search for that family. You can create it by yourself. So we're going to show you how we create something that's not available in the family that will be unique for this project. Well, for the project that we have it, the one that we're going through, we have a mat foundation, 40 centimeter deep. Now, the place of the mat foundation, this is the top view. We know that this is kind of from this corner. I didn't place all the columns. At this corner, we can go. We know that this is starting from somewhere here. Say if I take a line from here and somewhere, this corner, it's 60 by 60 far away from this, the corner of this column. I will use this one as a starting point, and then we'll place this mat foundation. Well, let's just show you how can we add single footing, since it's not there. So if I click on the isolated, I'll get like the properties change, because it will bring the footings. Now, if I want to find something else, I'll go click on the load family to see which family do I have. So as we said that we may have different families. Let's say I have UK, go for structural foundations. Now we have, this is retaining wall, this is ground beam. We have different, this is pile cup, normally for piles. Piles are those, there are different type of piles we have. So those are the families. Sheet pile, those are steel sheet piles. So as I can see, the only thing that I have, it says rectangle, I have it. Triangular, this is pad foundation, triangular, I have it. Rectangular, and the ground beam. Well, say if I want to just place any of them, if I want to make this one square, we know how to do it. Yes, we say we go to edit type, we duplicate first, duplicate. Let's say I want to make this one, that's a 2 meter. This is a name. I can 2 by 2. The thickness, I can write it down, let's say 40.4, or write it in meter if I want to write it like this. If I want to make it centimeter, I'll write 200, and I'll make this 40. Remember, this is just a name, but later we need this name. And then we have to change the thickness of the foundation, for example 40 40. The width will be 200. Now a question comes to mind. What if the length and width are not the same? How do I know which one will be the length, which one will be the width? As if you remember from the column, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you can rotate if it's not the shape that you wanted, the direction. If it's not the same, you can rotate easily. I'll press OK. Now identity, not gonna go from here. There are a lot of other detailing that will be used in the buildings, but for us now, just model the shape. So if you press OK, now you have a new within the list. You'll have a new one, 200 by 40 centimeters. So I can just simply, this is selected from there, selected from there. Now there's two things can be used, at columns and at grid line. So this is going to place it on the grid line. This is going to place it at the footings, structural footing. I can click like this. For example, here it goes under this column. I can just simply click here. It goes under the column. Now we can go to 3D. To see this one in the 3D. Then I can choose this one, add column. It will place the column at the center of the footing. Now sometimes it's required to place the column at the center of the footing. Sometimes it has some shifting offsets, so we'll use the offsetting if it's required. So it's totally depend on the project that you have it. Well, this is what we have here. This is in a 3D. If you come to 3D, the only thing that works is add column. You click on the add column. So just simply click on the column. It will place the foundation in a way that will be the column. Now there is something here, the level of it. So the top of the foundation. Let me cancel this one. Cancel this one. So if I make this one top of the foundation. Now add column. This one, it will place it right under the column. But what will happen here? The column will be at the center of the footing. Now, if I go back to the top of the foundation, I'm going back to the top of the foundation here. Now, however, if I want to place this isolated footing, so I have this one. Now, this is the footing I have. Yes, I have to find exactly where is the center. Where is the center of this? There is a way that it tells me exactly where is the center, midpoint of the area. And for example, this is the midpoint and midpoint, two midpoints. That's going to be the center of the column. Or you can place it by the grid here. You can place it by the grid. Now, I'm not going to any detail of something, but here we have some details. Now, height offset, it represents how much you're going to offset this foundation with regard to the level. Now let me just place this one somewhere, tell you what does that mean. I place the column at the center. So I'm pressing escape, few escapes. Now if I go to one of the elevations to see where is exactly this. Now look at this. The top of the foundation, it's at this level. Now if in any case, let's say that you have one of the foundation, it's a bit higher. For a reason, it's a bit higher. Now how would you do this one? You don't need to create another level for that. No, there is something we call offsets. So whenever you click on a foundation, so when you click on the foundation, the properties will appear back again. The properties will appear here. So we have height offset. This is the elevation of the top of the element related to its level. So if I, for example, say that there is an offset 10 centimeter, this is attach the column. Now, if you want to move this one in a project, say you have a case like this, in the beginning you can add an offset to it. So offset basically it explains how much is this foundation is going up from the level or down from the level. On the top of the foundation, it's according to this is we called offset. I'll use this offset when we're dealing with the slab as well, in case if you want to provide this offset. Now here we don't have this, and even we don't have a single footing, but this is how you can place an isolated footing. Remember, in order to place footing, you will be on the plan view. Let's say for the project that we have a mat foundation, a rat foundation, and we didn't have rat foundation here. Rat foundation, I can consider this one as a slab, but I prefer to go with the models here. I'll go into model in place. Now model in place, it's a part of Revit that you can create a unique component for the project that you have, which is not available in the families. Now you check the families. If it's not available within the families, you can go with the model in place. Now we go to model in place. When you click on the model in place, it will tell you which families you want to create. So I have here, I'm going to create structural foundation. Click on the structural foundation. Now it will ask me provide a name for the element that you're creating. I'll write mat foundation. Mat foundation. It's important the name. Why? Because when we do the bill of quantity, we want to calculate how much material we have or the component name, this name will appear on the project. So mat foundation, we need to know the type of the name for the element we have it. So when you click on the you wrote on a mat foundation, you will have a complete new Revit ribbons. Now the ribbons changed. You have create, insert, annotate, or some of them similar, but the first one will be create. No longer you see the rest of the. Why? Because you are in model in place. I mean, you're modeling something in the project. Now what do we have? The main things, we have the forms. Those forms are used to create the 3D objects. 3D object. Now extrusion mainly used if you want to create a box, kind of something like a 3D object with you have a 2D shape. You're extruding it. Extrusion, it's a term that we used in order to convert a 2D shape to a 3D, something like this. So you're converting it to something like this. It will be a 3D object. I don't know if you remember, in the old time we had a kind of a cup. There was something like this layer, and you pulled out, it will be a glass and use it for drinking. It will be something like this. It will be a glass and use for drinking. So it's the same idea. You have a 2D, it's not kind of 2D, but you extrude it up and it will turn to a 3D object. Now if you've seen this one, is like an idea to tell you what does extrusion means here. Extrusion, it's going to work in this manner. We have a 2D shape and we just extrude it. Then we have other forms. We have blending. Blending kind of, you have, it can be imagined that you have two things that you're blending together. Maybe you have something here and the top is round. So Revit is going to connect those two in a way that blend them together. I mean, you cannot do it in a drawing here, but it will blend the two shapes together. It will still create a 3D for you, but there will be something, for example, you might have another box here, another round here, then we'll connect this one back to this in a way that will be grid lines, and it will create the shape. So it will be smooth curvature between them, converting like this. We have revolve. Revolve, it's kind of, you have an axis, you draw something like this, and it will rotate about this axis, and it will create a 3D object like this for you. It will be 3D, so it will be at the bottom as well, something like this. And we have sweep and sweep blend. It's basically on the path that you have it, will create something for you. So we have a lot, and we have void as well. We're going to talk about the void. This is the path. You have a line, you'll draw something and it will turn to 3D. And if you just hover the mouse over them, it will give you a small animation how these things work. This is what they do. The void, we're going to use it if we need to create different type of slab, or we're creating a void within the element, we can use this one. So for the foundation, we have it. It's basically, if you think of the foundation, we have a rectangle. The bottom also is a rectangle. So I can just use simple form, which is extrusion. So I'm going to click on the extrusion. Again, when you click on the extrusion, you will have a new tab, which we're going to create. This is create extrusion. Now we have to draw extrusion. And there is here, we have some information here, from here as well, extrusion that we have. Now, how does extrusion work? How does extrusion work? If I have a 3D object, I can create this object in many ways. Let's say this is a cube, I have it. Forgive me for the cube, just an explanation. This I have a cube. If I create only, let's say, this part, if I create this part of the shape, I can extrude it in this direction. So this will be the depth of extrusion. Well, you realize that I can create this face, yes, I can create this face, and I can extrude it to the other direction. So the idea of extrusion, you will create one face and you will extrude it to the other way. Well, now you realize that I have another way, yes, from here I can create the top one, the top, and extrude it now down. Well, you have the other face there, the other face at the bottom. So 6 ways I can create this little box there. The idea is you create one of the face and you extrude it to the direction that the solid will go. Now for the foundation, I have it. Let's show you in the AutoCAD. This is the top of the foundation, yes. Now if I have 6 faces, I can create the top and extrude it down, yes. This is the easiest way. For example, I can create, if I create the top of the, draw this line, which line I'm talking about. If I draw this line, and I extrude it down, that's it, I'll get the foundation. I'll extrude it down. Or I can create the edge of it 40, and extrude it in this direction. That's also possible. So the extrusion works. For example, you do the face and you extrude it that direction, or extrude it down, or you extrude it the other way, or you draw the bottom and you extrude up. Whichever you prefer, it's possible, but some of them will be very easy for us to do. Why? Now, on the project that we have it, I can create top of the foundation easily. We already have this level. And by the way, this is not 0, 0. It's in the project we have is 50. Let's say we are on the top of the foundation. I can draw I can draw, for example, something like this. This will be a foundation that I have it. Let's say this is the foundation I have it, like this. And then what will we do? We extrude it down. It means that the way that we're trying to draw the top of the foundation like this. I mean, the 3D, I'm looking at it. We're trying to draw the top of the foundation, and we're extruding it down with 40 centimeters that we have it. So this level will be what? This is the top of the foundation, will be the level that I have it, the top of the foundation. And the extrusion that we have it, basically, the extrusion that we have it will be here. So we will draw this one. We'll draw this one to see how does it work. Now, according to axes, sometimes the extrusion goes up and down. We will tell you that you can put a minus here. It will solve the problem that you have it. Well, in order to draw this, I need some help. Well, where to start? How much is the length of it? So I can use different techniques. We have it here with line, with rectangle, different drawing option we have it there. Well, in order to start, first I will draw some lines. Later I will delete them. Let's say I know from this corner I have to go like one click, 60 centimeter. Then I will go up 60 centimeter. What I'm doing, I will find the starting point. This is the starting point, the corner which I showed to you here at this corner. I know that it is 60 centimeters from here and 60 to the other direction. So this corner I have it. Look, I drew a line in order to find its location. And just later I can delete those lines. Well, there's other ways that you can do. Now, let's find the dimension of this mat foundation. Well, the dimension we'll get it from here. Yes, that we have 840 is from this line to this line, and we have 260. So we know that will be 9.6 this direction from here, because we have 60 and we have 840 and it's 60 here. So we have 960 this direction. Well, the other direction we have it. We can go to we have here 1630, which will be 16.3 meter. Those are centimeter. And same manner, we have 260s at the edge, 260. So we have 1.2 adding to this one, that will be 17.5. So you have 9.6, 17.5 to draw it. Well, when it comes here, I can use line starting from this point, horizontal. It's a centimeter, we have it here, like the units are centimeter. So I can write it 960, and then I can go down, which was 1750. Since you already have those columns, you can see you will go around, and again 960. Now here in Revit, when you're creating model in place, there's something that Revit wants you to do, that they're not supposed to be any extra line. And line cannot go over. They're not supposed to be any void. So you will get some warning when you are in model in place. Let's say I'll go back to this point here. Yes. So line may not form closed loop. This warning, what happens? Because there's something over each other I have it. Yes, something over each other I have it. Well, I can press escape, and then I can delete if I want to. I'll delete what I have there in order not to have any overlap. I'm deleting those, and I already have the starting point. So I'll draw another line from here to down, which is 17,750. And now if I press escape, One escape, it's okay. One escape, you're still in a drawing mode. One escape, you're still in a drawing mode. So in this way, I have a closed area, Now, if you press another escape, you will get rid of the drawing. Now I don't want to draw anything. Now this is the top of the foundation. Now we're going to put the extrusion. The extrusion that we have it's 40 centimeter. We have it 40 centimeter. Well, what else we have to provide here? Now the foundation we have we're supposed to provide the material. I'm going to click on this one. It's inside here. Then the 3 dots. I'll make sure that we'll choose the same material that will be provided to you. So if it's between me and you, I'll provide all the materials for the elements. For example, I'll say foundation material is this one, columns material this one, beams material will be like this. Now those will be a part of the design that will be provided to the engineers, because they say that okay, we have the foundation, it's this concrete with the strength that we have it. So I can go to here, concrete, for example this one, and we say that we can add the properties if you want to. Now let's say that you forgot to select the material. You have the extrusion end, let's say you have the foundation in the right place, where on top of the foundation we can press on this right button and it will create the foundation for us. In order to see the foundation, we're still inside the extrusion mode. We can go to 3D and it will show us the foundation, or I can go to the north or the south. I can see the foundation, but now you realize that the foundation, it's extruded upward, and instead of extruding downward, it's extruded upward. So the way that rivets work sometimes goes with the axis. Now z-axis going upward, so positive 40 will take it up. Doesn't matter. You can click on the extrusion, just simply changing this one to minus 40, hit enter, it will take it back. So this is, you can simply edit the extrusion before finishing it. So if you finish the model, that's basically you're done with the foundation. So after finishing the things, you click on the finish model, say the extrusion, because there was 2 things. We came into the model, then we went into the extrusion. Now we have the foundation as it is. So if you go to the top of the foundation, you'll see the foundation. And if I go through the families that they have it, within there, I'm supposed to have something under structural foundation, which is the matte foundation which I created. So I can see the matte foundation is a family which is only applicable for this project. This is how we do foundation in Revit. So whether using the foundation groups or going into model in place and create the foundation that we have it.